The alarm bells rang loud across the giant space station. Clickstar jumped from his chair, his 4 eyes wide with fear. He had never seen readings like this before. Something big was coming through the forbidden zone. "Sir, you need to see this." "Right now," Clickstar called to his boss. Commander Zalyuk walked over to the control panel. His face turned dark when he saw the numbers on the screen. "This cannot be right. Check it again." Clickstar's hands shook as he ran the scan one more time. The results were the same. A massive ship had just crossed into the sacred space around the galaxy's center. No one had dared to enter this area for thousands of years. "What kind of ship is it?" Zalyuk asked. "I don't know, sir. It's not in any of our databases. The energy readings are huge, but the design looks ... simple." Zalyuk hit the emergency button. Red lights flashed throughout the station. Within minutes, the message was sent to every military base in the galaxy. An unknown ship had broken the most important law in space not far away on the military command ship. Admiral Vexthul received the alert. He was a tall, proud warrior who had fought in many battles. His silver armor showed the marks of countless victories. But when he read the message, his face went pale. "Impossible," he said to himself. "No primitive race could break through our defenses." He called his officers to the bridge. "We have a situation. A ship of unknown origin has entered the core. Territories. I want every available ship ready for battle in 1 hour." Captain Feltar, his second in command, looked worried. "Sir, could this be a trap? Maybe the Void Hunters have returned?" "No," Vexthul shook his head. "This is something else. Something we have never seen before." Meanwhile, millions of miles away, Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the USS Liberty. He was a tall man with short brown hair and kind eyes. But right now, those eyes were filled with worry. "Lisa, what's our position?" He asked his tactical officer. Commander Lisa Carter checked her instruments. She was a smart woman who had served with Jake for 5 years. "I'm sorry, Captain." "I have no idea where we are. None of the star patterns match anything in our charts." Jake looked out at the strange stars through the bridge windows. They had been on a simple mission to explore new worlds when their jump drive broke. Now they were lost in a part of space that didn't exist on any human map. "Pete, how bad is the damage?" Jake called to his chief engineer. Pete Sullivan was a big man with strong hands and a gentle heart. He loved machines more than people sometimes. "The jump drive is completely fried, Captain. Whatever happened, we're not jumping anywhere for a while." Dr. Amy Rodriguez looked up from her science station. She was the smartest person on the ship, and Jake always trusted her judgment. "Captain, I'm picking up some very strange energy readings from the nearby systems. This technology is far beyond anything we've ever seen." Jake nodded. "Keep scanning, Amy. We need to know what we're dealing with." Ben Walsh, the communications officer, suddenly spoke up. "Captain, I'm getting signals. Multiple ships moving. Fast, and they're all heading straight for us." The bridge went quiet. Jake felt his stomach drop. They were alone, far from home, and now they had company. "How many ships?" Jake asked. "At least 30, sir. Maybe more." "They're big, Captain. Really big." Jake looked at his crew. These were good people who had followed him into the unknown. Now they might all die because of a broken machine. "Lisa, what do our weapons look like compared to theirs?" Lisa checked her screens. "Not good, Captain. Each of their ships is twice our size. If they're hostile, we're in serious trouble." Jake walked to the center of the bridge. He had been in tight spots before, but never like this. His crew looked at him with trust in their eyes. They believed he would get them home safe. "All right, people. We don't know who these aliens are or what they want, but we're going to find out. Ben, try to open communications. Amy, Keep scanning their technology. Lisa, prepare all weapons, but don't target anything yet. Pete, I need you to work miracles with our engines. Yes, sir, they all replied at once. Jake looked out at the stars again. Somewhere out there, Earth was waiting for them to come home. His wife Sarah was probably making dinner right now, wondering when he would return. His daughter Emma was probably doing her homework, counting the days until Daddy came back. But between them and home were alien ships that might want to kill them all. The first alien ship appeared on their screens. It was beautiful in a scary way, with smooth curves and glowing lights. But Jake could see the weapons pointed right at them. Captain, Ben said, I'm getting a signal. It's some kind of universal translator. They're trying to talk to us. Put it on speakers, Jake ordered. A cold mechanical voice filled the bridge. Unknown vessel, you have violated sacred space. Surrender immediately, or be destroyed. Jake felt his heart beat faster. This was it. This was the moment that would decide if his crew lived or died. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the USS Liberty. We are peaceful explorers. We didn't mean to enter your space. Our navigation system broke, and we got lost. There was a long pause. Then the alien voice spoke again, and this time it sounded angry. Impossible. No primitive race could reach this sector. You will surrender your vessel and prepare to be boarded. Jake looked at Lisa. She shook her head. The alien ships were charging their weapons. Captain, Amy whispered, I don't think they believe us. Jake knew she was right. These aliens thought humans were lying. They thought the Liberty was some kind of threat. And now they were about to find out what happened when you cornered a human crew with nothing left to lose. The alien fleet moved closer to the Liberty. Admiral Vexthal stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Dominion of Stars. It was the biggest warship in the galaxy, with enough firepower to destroy a small moon. But he felt uneasy as he looked at the human ship. Analysis report, he ordered his science officer. Sir, the vessel appears to be made of simple metals and basic technology, but the energy readings don't match. Something is very wrong here. Vexthal had fought wars across the galaxy for over 50 years. He knew when something didn't make sense. This small ship had somehow traveled farther than any known race could go. Yet it looked like it was built by children. Could they have stolen our technology? He asked. Impossible, sir. Our jump drives use quantum crystals that only exist in the core worlds. These humans would have no access to such materials. On the Liberty's bridge, Captain Jake Morrison watched the alien ships around them. Each one was massive, covered in weapons and glowing with power. He had never felt so small. Ben, any luck with communications? Jake asked. Ben Walsh worked frantically at his station. I'm trying, Captain. Their language is completely different from anything we've ever heard. Dr. Rodriguez is helping me with the translation program. Amy Rodriguez looked up from her computer. Captain, I'm making progress. Their language uses mathematical patterns. I think I can build a basic translator. How long do you need? Jake asked. Give me 5 minutes. Jake nodded. Lisa, what's our tactical situation? Commander Lisa Carter studied her screens. 53 ships, Captain. All of them bigger than us. If they attack, we won't last 30 seconds. Jake felt the weight of command on his shoulders. His crew was depending on him, but he had no idea what to do. They were peaceful explorers, not warriors. Captain, Amy called out, I think I've got something. The translation isn't perfect, but we should be able to communicate. Open a channel, Jake ordered. The alien voice came through the speakers again, but this time it was clearer. Human vessel, you will explain how you breached our defenses. No primitive race possesses such technology. Jake took a deep breath. This is Captain Morrison. We are explorers from the planet Earth. We were testing a new jump drive when it malfunctioned. We never meant to enter your space. There was a long pause. Then a new voice spoke, colder than the first. I am Admiral Vexthil of the Galactic Enforcement Fleet. Your story is impossible. You will surrender your ship and crew for questioning. Admiral, we're telling the truth. We're just as confused as you are. We don't even know where we are. Lies. Another voice interrupted. This one sounded different, more intelligent. I am Cultural Attache Gzikmer. Your species has committed an act of war by entering the sacred territories. The penalty is death. Jake felt his blood run cold. Wait, please. We can prove we're not a threat. Let us show you our technology. You'll see that we're just explorers. Your technology is the threat, Zeekmer replied. No species should be able to reach the core worlds. You have upset the balance of power. You must be eliminated. On the Dominion of Stars, Admiral Vessil studied the human ship. It was so small compared to his fleet. But something about it worried him. The humans had done the impossible once. What else might they be capable of? Sir, his weapons officer reported all ships are ready to fire on your command. Vexthil hesitated. In all his years of service, he had never destroyed a ship without giving them a chance to surrender. But these humans were different. They were dangerous in ways he didn't understand. Captain Morrison, he said into the communicator, you have one chance. Surrender your vessel and submit to interrogation. Your crew will be treated according to galactic law. Jake knew what that meant. They would be prisoners for the rest of their lives, if they were lucky. Admiral, we can't surrender. We have families back home who are counting on us to return. Then you have chosen death, Zeekmer's voice cut in. Admiral, destroy them now before they can escape. Jake looked at his crew. Pete Sullivan was still working on the engines, trying to get them running. Amy Rodriguez was studying the alien ships, looking for any weakness. Lisa Carter was ready to fight, even against impossible odds. Ben Walsh was still trying to find a diplomatic solution. These were good people. They didn't deserve to die in empty space, far from home. Admiral, Jake said, if you attack us, you'll learn something about humans that you won't like. And what is that? Vexthil asked. We don't give up, ever, and we don't go down without a fight. The alien admiral almost laughed. Captain, you have one small ship. I have 53 warships. What could you possibly do? Jake looked at Lisa. She nodded. She understood. Pete, Jake called to his engineer. I need everything you've got. Captain, the engines are barely holding together. If we push them too hard, do it anyway. Pete's hands flew over his controls. The Liberty's engines roared to life, sending power through the ship like lightning. Lisa, prepare all weapons. Amy, I need you to find me a weak spot in their formation. Captain. Amy said, they're expecting us to run or surrender. They're not expecting us to attack. Then let's give them a surprise they'll never forget. The alien fleet waited. Admiral Vexthil expected the humans to beg for mercy or try to escape. He didn't expect them to fight. Sir, his tactical officer reported, the human ship is powering. Up weapons. Impossible. They can't be that foolish. But Jake Morrison was exactly that foolish. Or maybe he was just that brave. All ships, Vexthil ordered, prepare to fire. End this quickly. On the Liberty, Jake stood in the center of the bridge. His crew looked at him with trust and determination. They were scared, but they were ready. This is for Earth, Jake said. Quietly, this is for our families. This is to show them that humans don't quit. He turned to Lisa. Fire everything we've got. The Liberty's weapons erupted in a blaze of light. The small human ship charged straight at the alien fleet, guns. Blazing. The impossible battle had begun. The Liberty's weapons hit the nearest alien ship like a hammer. The massive vessel shook but didn't fall. Jake Morrison watched from his bridge as 53 enemy ships turned their guns on his tiny crew. "Evasive maneuvers," he ordered. "Lisa." Carter's hands moved across her controls like a piano player. The Liberty twisted and spun between the alien ships, dodging beams of deadly energy. But Jake knew they couldn't keep this up forever. "Pete, how's our engine holding up?" Jake called. "It's not good, Captain. The jump drive is damaged, but I might be able to use it for short bursts." Jake's eyes lit up. "Short jumps? Maybe, but each one might be our last." On the Dominion of Stars, Admiral Vexthul watched in amazement as the small human ship danced between his warships. His gunners couldn't hit it. The Liberty was too fast, too unpredictable. "How are they doing this?" he demanded. "Sir, they're using patterns we've never seen before. Our targeting systems can't predict their movements." Vexthul had fought hundreds of battles, but he had never seen anything like this. The humans were flying their ship like it was alive. All ships Titan formation. Don't let them escape. But Jake Morrison had no intention of escaping. He had a different plan. "Amy, tell me about their weapons," he said. Dr. Amy Rodriguez studied her screens. "Captain, they're powerful, but they're slow. Each shot takes time to charge. And they're aiming where we are, not where we're going." "What about their shields?" "Interesting. They're designed to stop big attacks from far away. But they might be weak against small, fast attacks from close range." Jake smiled. "Lisa, new plan. We're going to get close. Captain, that's suicide." "Maybe. But it's also the last thing they'll expect." The Liberty suddenly changed direction, diving straight at the alien fleet. The enemy ships fired, but their massive weapons couldn't track the fast-moving human vessel. "Pete, I need that jump drive now." "It's ready, Captain. But I can only do this a few times." "Do it." The Liberty vanished in a flash of light. 1 second it was flying toward the alien fleet. The next it was gone. Where did they go? Vexthul shouted. His question was answered when the Liberty appeared right behind one of his ships. The human vessel was so close that the alien shields were useless. "Fire," Jake ordered. The Liberty's guns hit the alien ship's engines. The massive vessel spun out of control, crashing into another ship. "Jump again," Jake said. The Liberty disappeared and reappeared on the other side of the fleet. This time, Lisa targeted the alien ship's communication arrays. Without communications, the fleet couldn't coordinate their attacks. "They're using microjumps," Vexthul's science officer reported. "Sir, this should be impossible. Their technology isn't advanced enough." "Then explain how they're doing it," Vexthul snarled, but there was no explanation. The humans were breaking every rule of space combat. Jake stood on his bridge, watching his crew work like a perfect team. Ben Walsh was jamming alien communications. Amy Rodriguez was finding weak spots in their formation. Pete Sullivan was keeping their impossible engines running. And Lisa Carter was fighting like a warrior born. "Jump again," Jake said. This time, the Liberty appeared inside the alien formation. The enemy ships couldn't fire without hitting each other. Jake had turned their numbers against them. "Target their command ship," he ordered. "Captain, that's Admiral Vexthul's flagship. It's the biggest ship in the fleet." "Then let's show them what humans can do." The Liberty flew straight at the Dominion of Stars. The massive flagship fired everything it had, but the human ship was too close and too fast. Jake's crew hit the alien ship's weapon systems one by one. "Impossible," Vexthul whispered as his ship's guns went silent, but the humans weren't done. The Liberty jumped again, appearing behind another alien ship. This time, Tony Chun, the weapons officer, tried something new. Instead of firing all their weapons at once, He fired them in sequence, hitting the alien ship over and over. The alien shields, designed to stop one big attack, couldn't handle multiple small ones. The enemy ship's defenses collapsed. Their shields are down, Amy reported. I think I understand now. They're used to fighting wars where both sides have the same technology. They don't know how to fight against something different. Jake nodded. Then let's stay different. Pete, can you give me more jumps? Maybe 3 more, Captain. After that, the drive will explode. That's all we need. The Liberty jumped again, this time appearing in the middle of a group of alien ships. But instead of attacking, they just sat there. What are they doing? Vixthul demanded. The answer came quickly. The alien ships, trying to shoot the Liberty, ended up shooting each other. The human ships slipped away while the aliens dealt with their own crossfire. They're making us destroy ourselves, Vexthul realized. The Admiral had to admit it. These humans were better fighters than anyone he had ever faced. They didn't have better weapons or stronger ships. They had something else. Something his people had lost long ago. They had the will to try anything. Sir, his tactical officer reported, we've lost 15 ships. Another 20 are damaged. The humans ... They're winning. Vexthul looked at the small human ship on his screen. It was beaten up, smoking, and barely holding together. But it was still fighting. Send a message to all ships, he ordered. Fall back. We need to regroup. Sir, are we retreating? We're learning, Vexthul said. These humans have shown us that we don't know everything about war. The alien fleet began to pull back, leaving the Liberty alone in space. Jake Morrison looked around his bridge. His crew was exhausted, but they were alive. Is it over? Lisa asked. Jake shook his head. No, this was just the beginning. They'll be back, and next time they'll be ready for us. What do we do now? Amy asked. Jake looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, and his family, and billions of people who had no idea what was coming. Now we figure out how to get home, he said, and we warn everyone that we're not alone in the universe. But even as he spoke, Jake knew the truth. The aliens wouldn't let them leave. They had seen too much, learned too much about human capabilities. The real war was just beginning. The news spread across the galaxy like wildfire. A small human ship had defeated the Galactic Enforcement Fleet. Billions of beings watched the battle, footage in shock and fear. On the neutral world of Arbitros, the Galactic Council met in emergency session. The Great Hall was filled with representatives from every major species in the galaxy. They all wanted to know the same thing. How had the humans done it? Counselor Tisara of the Ethereal Collective stood at the center of the hall. She was ancient and wise, with silver skin that glowed in the dim light. Her voice carried the authority of 10,000 years. Fellow counselors, she began, we face a crisis unlike any in recorded history. These humans have shown capabilities that threaten the very foundation of our civilization. Murmurs filled the hall. Some species were curious about the humans. Others were terrified. But all of them knew that everything had changed. They must be destroyed, declared Warlord Gregtal of the Savage Clans, before they can return to their home world, before they can warn their people. Agreed, said High Priestess Melandra of the Sacred Order. The humans have violated the sacred boundaries. They must pay the price. But Dr. Keshtol of the Archivists Guild stood up. She was small and quiet, but her words carried weight. Perhaps we should study them instead, learn from them. They have shown us new ways to think about warfare. The hall erupted in angry voices. Most of the counselors saw the humans as a threat to be eliminated, not a puzzle to be solved. Meanwhile, on the Liberty, Captain Jake Morrison faced his own crisis. The ship was barely holding together after the battle. Warning lights flashed. On every screen, Pete How bad is it? Jake asked. Chief Engineer Pete Sullivan wiped sweat from his forehead. The jump drive is completely dead, Captain. We used the last of its power in the battle. We're stuck here. Dr. Amy Rodriguez looked up from her station. Captain, I've been monitoring alien communications. They're not giving up. More ships are coming. How many more? Jake asked. Hundreds, maybe thousands. Every species in the galaxy is sending ships to stop us. Jake felt the weight of the situation. His crew had won one battle, but now they faced an entire galaxy united against them. What are they saying about us? He asked. Amy translated the alien messages. They're calling us a probability hazard and an extinction event. They think we're going to destroy their way of life. All we want is to go home, Lisa Carter said quietly. I know, Jake replied, but they don't believe that. Ben Walsh, the communications officer, suddenly looked up. Captain, I'm getting a strange signal. It's different from the others. Put it on screen, Jake ordered. The image that appeared surprised everyone. It was an alien, but not like the others they had seen. This one looked more like a scholar than a warrior. Human vessel, my name is Dr. Keshtal. I am a scientist and historian. I wish to speak with you. Jake looked at his crew. They were all suspicious. Every other alien they had met wanted to kill them. This is Captain Morrison. What do you want? To understand, Dr. Keshtal replied. Your battle tactics were unlike anything we have seen. You used principles that our military has forgotten. What principles? Jake asked. Adaptation, innovation, the willingness to try something new when the old ways don't work. Jake was quiet. For a moment, this alien seemed different from the others. Dr. Keshtal, we don't want to fight anyone. We just want to go home to our families. I believe you, Captain, but you must understand. Your galaxy has been stable for thousands of years. Every species knows its place. Your arrival has upset that balance. We didn't mean to upset anything, Jake said. Of course not. But you have shown other species that the old ways are not the only ways. Some of them are starting to ask questions. Dr. Keshtal was right. Across the galaxy, younger aliens were watching the battle footage and wondering why their own militaries were so rigid and predictable. Why couldn't they fight like the humans? Captain, Dr. Keshtal continued, I want to help you. But you must understand what you're facing. The Council has authorized the largest military fleet in galactic history. Over 3,000 ships are converging on your position. Jake's heart sank. 3,000? Yes, and they have one goal, to make sure you never return to your home world. On the bridge, the crew was silent. 3,000 ships. Even with their tactics and determination, they couldn't fight that many enemies. Dr. Keshtal, Jake said, why are you helping us? Because, the alien scientist replied, I have spent my life studying the rise and fall of civilizations. I know what happens when a society becomes too rigid, too afraid of change. It dies. And you think we represent change? I think you represent hope. The hope that intelligence and creativity can overcome any obstacle. Jake made a decision. Dr. Keshtal, we're going to send a message to the galaxy. Will you help us broadcast it? What kind of message? The truth. About who we are, where we come from, and what we want. Dr. Keshtal hesitated. Captain, that could be very dangerous. The Council will not appreciate being challenged. Then it's time they learned what humans do when we're challenged. Jake turned to his crew. Amy, I want you to prepare a complete record of our mission. Ben, set up a galaxy-wide broadcast. Lisa, prepare our defenses. Pete, see if you can get us any kind of mobility. Captain, Amy said, if we broadcast our technology and our location, every species in the galaxy will know our capabilities. Good. Jake replied, "Let them know what they're dealing with." Hours later, Jake stood on the bridge as Ben prepared the broadcast. Through the view screen, he could see the first of the alien ships arriving. The fleet that would destroy them was already gathering. "Ready, Captain?" Ben reported. Jake took a deep breath. This message would be his last gift to Earth. A warning about what was coming, and a record of how humans had faced the impossible. "Open the channel," he ordered. Jake looked directly into the camera. Somewhere out there, his wife Sarah and daughter Emma might be watching. Somewhere, the people of Earth were going about their normal lives, not knowing that their future hung in the balance. "This is Captain Jake Morrison of the USS Liberty," he began. "We came to the stars seeking knowledge and friendship. We found a galaxy that fears what it doesn't understand." He paused, watching alien ships gather on the horizon like storm clouds. "But we also found something else. We found that humans have something special, something that can't be defeated by superior numbers or better technology. We have the courage to try, even when success seems impossible." Jake smiled, thinking of his family back home. "To the galaxy, I say this: we are not your enemies. We are your future, the future you're afraid to embrace." The broadcast ended, but Jake's words echoed across the galaxy. And in the darkness of space, 3,000 alien ships prepared for the final battle. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. 3,000 warships from dozens of species surrounded the tiny human vessel. The fleet was so large that it blocked out the stars. Admiral Vexthil stood on the bridge of his rebuilt flagship, watching the Liberty through his view screen. The small human ship looked so fragile compared to the massive armada around it. But he knew better than to underestimate these humans. "Sir," his communications officer reported, "we're receiving responses to the human broadcast from across the galaxy." "What kind of responses?" "Mixed, sir. Some species are demanding immediate action against the humans, but others are asking questions." Vexthil frowned. "What kind of questions?" "They want to know why we're so afraid of one small ship. They want to know why we can't just let the humans go home." This was exactly what the Council had feared. The humans weren't just a military threat. They were an idea. And ideas were harder to kill than ships. On the Liberty, Captain Jake Morrison stood with his crew on the bridge. They were tired, scared, but not defeated. They had faced impossible odds before and survived. "Captain," Dr. Amy Rodriguez reported, "I'm detecting massive energy buildups from the alien fleet. They're preparing to fire everything they have at once." Jake nodded. He had expected this. "How long do we have?" "Maybe 10 minutes." Jake looked at his crew. These brave men and women had followed him into the unknown. They deserved better than to die in empty space. "Ben, any word from Earth?" Ben Walsh shook his head. "Nothing, Captain. Our message was sent, but it will take years to reach home. And we'll have to trust that they'll be ready when the time comes." Suddenly, Dr. Keshto's voice came through the communicator. "Captain Morrison, I have news. The Council is splitting. Some species are refusing to participate in the attack." Jake felt a spark of hope. Which species? The younger civilizations. The ones that have been held back by the old powers. They're saying that maybe the humans are right. Maybe it's time for change. Admiral Vexthil received the same reports. Nearly a quarter of his fleet was breaking away, refusing to fire on the humans. Some ships were even moving to protect the Liberty. "Sir," his tactical officer said, "the Archivists' Guild ships are repositioning. They're forming a defensive screen around the humans." "What are they doing?" Vexthil demanded. "I think they're trying to prevent us from attacking, sir." For the first time in his long career, Vexthil didn't know what to do. The galaxy was splitting apart, and it was all because of one small human ship. On the Liberty, Jake watched in amazement as alien ships moved to protect them. Amy, are you seeing this? Yes, Captain. About 700 ships have broken away from the main fleet. They single quotes re ... They're defending us. Jake felt tears in his eyes. These aliens didn't even know humans, but they were willing to risk everything to protect them. Captain, Ben said suddenly, I'm getting a message from the lead ship. It's Dr. Keshtal. The alien scientist's image appeared on the screen. Captain Morrison, we cannot let you be destroyed. You represent something that our galaxy has forgotten. What's that? Jake asked. Hope. The hope that we can be better than we are. But the moment of triumph was brief. The remaining alien fleet, still over 2,000 ships strong, was moving into attack position. The Council had made their decision. Captain, Admiral Vexthul's voice came through the communicator. This is your final warning. Surrender now, or we will open fire. Jake looked at the massive fleet arrayed against them. Even with their alien allies, they were still outnumbered 3-1. Admiral, Jake replied, we've told you before, we're not surrendering. Then you're choosing death, not just for yourselves, but for everyone protecting you. Jake realized the truth. The aliens who had come to defend them would die too, all because they believed in the human cause. Captain, Lisa Carter said quietly, we can't let them die for us. Jake knew she was right, but he also knew something else. If they gave up now, everything they had fought for would be lost. I have an idea, he said. Amy, can you patch me through to every ship in the galaxy? Yes, Captain. But what are you going to say? Jake smiled. I'm going to do what humans do best. I'm going to give them a choice. The broadcast went out across the galaxy. Jake's image appeared on millions of screens, watched by billions of beings. People of the galaxy, he began. My name is Jake Morrison. I'm a husband, a father, and an explorer. I come from a small planet called Earth, where we believe that everyone deserves the chance to grow and learn and become something better. He paused, looking directly into the camera. You have a choice to make. You can destroy us and go back to the way things were. Or you can choose to build something new, something better. On planets across the galaxy, people watched and listened. Young aliens looked at their parents and asked why the humans had to die. Scientists wondered what humanity could teach them. Artists dreamed of new forms of creativity. We're not asking you to change overnight, Jake continued. We're just asking you to try, to be brave enough to imagine a better future. The broadcast ended, but its effects rippled across the galaxy. On 1,000 worlds, people stood up and demanded that their leaders spare the humans. Scientists quit their jobs to join the Archivists Guild. Young aliens enlisted in the ships, protecting the Liberty. Admiral Vexthul watched his fleet continue to shrink as more and more ships joined. The humans. His communications officer looked up with worry. Sir, we're down to 800 ships. The rest have either left or joined the human defenders. Vexthul stared at the Liberty. Such a small ship to cause such big changes. What are your orders? Sir? His tactical officer asked. The admiral was quiet for a long time. He thought about his long career, all the battles he had fought to keep the galaxy stable. But maybe stability wasn't the same thing as peace. Sir? The officer asked again. Stand. Down weapons, Vexthul said quietly. Sir? You heard me. Stand down weapons. Send a message to all remaining ships. We're not attacking today. On the Liberty, Jake Morrison couldn't believe what he was seeing. The massive alien fleet was powering down their weapons. Ships that had come to destroy them were now just floating in space. Captain, Ben Walsh reported, we're getting a message from Admiral Vexthul. The alien admiral's image appeared on screen. He looked older now, tired. "Captain Morrison," Rexthal said, "you have shown me something I had forgotten. Sometimes the bravest thing a soldier can do is choose not to fight." Jake felt relief wash over him. "Admiral, thank you." "Don't thank me yet, Captain. The Council will not accept this decision. They will send other fleets, other admirals who are not as flexible as I am. Then what do we do?" Jake asked. Dr. Keshtal's voice joined the conversation. "We give you what you want, Captain. We help you go home." "How?" Jake asked. "Our jump drive is destroyed. We will build you a new one, better than the old one. In exchange, you will carry a message back to your people." "What message?" "That the galaxy is changing. That someday, when humanity is ready, we would like to meet them properly. As friends, not enemies." Jake looked at his crew. They were all smiling now. They were going home. "There's one more thing," Dr. Keshtal added. "Your broadcast has inspired many young beings across the galaxy. Some of them want to come with you, come with us, as ambassadors, to learn about humanity and teach about their own species. Would you accept them?" Jake thought about it. Bringing aliens back to Earth would change everything. But maybe it was time for change. "Yes," he said. "We'll take them." Over the next few weeks, the Liberty was repaired and upgraded by alien scientists who wanted to help. Young beings from dozens of species came aboard as passengers. They were curious about humans and excited about the future. Pete Sullivan worked with alien engineers to build a new jump drive. "Captain," he said, "this new drive is amazing. We can reach Earth in just a few days instead of years." Dr. Amy Rodriguez spent her time learning from alien scientists. "Captain, the things they can teach us. Medicine, technology, art. Humanity is going to advance by centuries." But not everyone was happy about the changes. On the Council world, the old powers met in secret. They were angry about losing control of the galaxy. The humans must never reach their home world, High Priestess Melandra declared. If they do, everything will change. "Agreed," said Counselor Tessara. "We will send assassins, silent ships that can destroy the Liberty before it reaches Earth." But their plans were overheard by Dr. Keshtal's allies. A warning was sent to the Liberty just as they prepared to leave. "Captain," Ben Walsh reported, "Dr. Keshtal says there are stealth ships following us." "The Council isn't giving up." Jake wasn't surprised. "How many ships?" "Unknown. They're using cloaking technology." Jake made a decision. "Then we'll have to trust in what we've learned. Lisa, plot a course for Earth. Maximum speed." "Captain, what have the alien passengers said?" "We could help you fight the stealth ships." "No," Jake replied. "You're passengers now, not soldiers. We'll protect you." The Liberty jumped into space, heading for Earth with its precious cargo of alien ambassadors. Behind them, invisible ships followed like shadows. The journey took 3 days. During that time, Jake's crew got to know their alien passengers. They learned about different cultures, different ways of thinking. The aliens learned about human courage, human curiosity, human hope. "Captain," Amy said on the second D,